Hello, and welcome to this centering and balancing treatment. I'm Jo, founder of the Stone and Joy Circle, which is a private Facebook community of high vibrating people. And we use the crystal treatments that I deliver each week in that community to keep vibrating high, to achieve more in their lives, and most importantly of all, to just love life more and more and more. Now, this centering treatment is a real favorite for me because I know how important centering is. It is a practice that should become pivotal for most people living in the modern world. And by the end of this treatment, it will become clear to you why that is, and you'll be more familiar with what it feels like as well. So just a little bit on housekeeping. Hopefully you've all read the suggestions in the email, etc., around finding a quiet and comfortable place that is just free of distractions. And remember that in doing that, you have already taken the first step towards honoring yourself. You don't need to deserve you time. It's not something that you earn. It's something that you need if you are to thrive and to achieve and to enjoy life, like those people in my circle. So do try to be present throughout, and that way, that's how you will benefit the most from this treatment. Now, just a little bit more on housekeeping. As your crystal therapist, your well-being is always my number one priority, always. So I just want to make sure that you have a means of getting hold of me. And then if you experience anything during the treatment that you feel you want to talk to me about, anything that's made you uncomfortable, perhaps tearful, I want you to be able to do that. That's part of what I'm here to do as your crystal therapist. So if you use the QR code on the slide that's on the screen, it will take you to my Facebook page, not the Stone and Joy Circle page. That's a private community, just my Facebook page. And if you just like and follow that page, then you've got an easy way to be able to access me by being able to Facebook Messenger me with any questions about anything that you experience. So if you just want to take a moment, I'm going to leave that slide up for just another second longer. If you want to just take a moment to use that QR code, or just search in Facebook for Stone and Joy, and it's Stone and Joy, not Stone and Joy Circle that you're looking for. You want to take a moment to do that. And by all means, if you want to send me a test message to make sure that it's working, if that makes you feel more confident and more comfortable, then by all means do that. That's absolutely fine. Leave that slide. Okay, hopefully you've all had a chance to do that. So let's get into the good stuff now. A little bit of a run through of the agenda. So during this treatment video, I'm going to be explaining a little bit more to you about what centering is, because I think that's a helpful thing to do. Then I'm going to show you a really quick and easy self-serve tool for getting centered whilst you are on the move, because it's that important and it needs doing that often. And then I'll follow that up with a centering crystals treatment, a lovely, relaxing experience for you. You just get to lie back and enjoy and receive the energy. And then we'll just wrap up and close by just reminding you how to stay energetically well. And I've got a top tip to share with you around that as well. So I'm going to stop sharing slides now. There we go. And let's start talking about centering. So most people know what grounding is, but centering is something that far fewer people have heard of, and even fewer people practice. And grounding is something that happens as part of your everyday life. You get grounded by having physical contact with the ground, going for a walk, example, especially in nature, and ideally barefoot. Eating and drinking are grounding activities, and most of us do that several times a day. But of all these grounding activities that we've talked about, they're everyday things. So grounding kind of happens almost by accident. Now, you still might not be grounded enough, which is why crystals like obsidian and black tourmaline can help to support you on top and get you more grounded. But centering is something that you need to actively practice because it's not something that occurs naturally as just part of our day-to-day routines. So what is centering? Centering brings everything back to oneness. And by oneness, I mean that each of us, as we sit here today, is whole, perfect, and one. Every single one of us, whole, perfect, and one. And our entirety is made up of strengths and weaknesses, good and bad. But instead of seeing these as opposites, because when we see these things as opposites, they divide us, they pull us apart. Centering is the practice of seeing ourselves as beautiful and perfect, whole, perfect, exactly as we are. And part of that perfection is the balance of all those parts. So if we can see ourselves as one and a balance of our strengths and our weaknesses, it's much easier to be at peace with the things that we perceive as bad or weaknesses and simply thankful rather than overstated about the good bits and the strengths that we have. So, for example, you'll have heard people say things like, I might be overweight, but it's what's on the inside that counts. And the but, those 3 letters in that sentence is what gives away that there is some tug of war going on in that individual between good, their heart of gold, and bad, some fat in the noun rather than the adjective sense. When actually, in the sense of being centered and being one, the truth is that this body has served me perfectly to climb mountains, swim seas, explore cities, birth children, cradle my friends' children, cradle my friends. So I will cherish this body so that I can experience more of those incredible and wonderful things. Same body, different perspective, different lens, a centered lens. So seeing ourselves as one and balanced silences the critical voices in our heads that tend to swing between those violent extremes of strengths, weaknesses. And silencing the critical voices is a big part of taking your power back. Being able to create a life and a world and a weight that you love. Because we're not made up of good, evil, bad, right, strengths, weakness. We are simply one, and we're just a balance of all of those things. Now, centering is also key for balancing yin and yang, masculine and feminine. Now, I don't mean this in the sex hormone sense, though I do believe that an imbalance of yin and yang has a big impact on our sex hormones, but that's a whole different day subject. So I just mean it in the yin and yang sense, the balance of masculine versus feminine attributes. And yang is male energy. It's all about pushing to get things done, willpower, strength, logical decision-making. Yin is female energy, which is much more about going with the ebbs and flow of life, less concerned with doing and more concerned with being, feeling. And yin relies much more on intuition as guidance. So men and women alike need a balance of yin and yang to be emotionally, physically, and mentally healthy and to thrive. That's my goal for everybody I work with, is to thrive. And when the two energies, when that yin and that yang are in balance, we feel at one. Now, in the modern world, the energy which often dominates is yang. It's the hustle of getting everybody out of the house in the morning to work, to school, to college. It's the pressures to succeed at work. It's the pressure to get projects finished at work. It's a constantly growing to-do list of chores. It's the pressure to get to the gym on top of all of those other things, to get to the gym, to keep healthy and lose weight. And all of those doing things, it's all driven by male energy. And that's not a bad thing, because there are occasions when we need yang to be in charge. You know, if you've got to get to the airport to catch a plane, then, you know, that yang energy is very much needed to make sure you don't miss the flight. There's no point being all yin about it and then standing at the gate thinking, oh, it left without me. I wouldn't be here delivering this centering treatment if I didn't use yang energy to get stuff done. The problems arise when we spend so much of our time using that masculine yang energy to just push through and get things done, that it becomes normal and habitual. And we don't realize how normalized it's been. So we think, well, I've read a book for 20 minutes, so I've got back into balance. 20 minutes versus an entire week of pushing to get projects over the line, everybody to school and work. It's not going to balance it out. You haven't got to an equitable point. You might feel better. You might feel that you've pulled it back in, but you're not going to get to equilibrium with a 20-minute book read. And I think we forget then how to lean into our intuition and recognize that now we are just pushing through habitually. And so we keep pushing anyway. And suddenly life just feels like one long battle, one long to-do list. And very often when people first come to me, they tell me that they feel absolutely rubbish. They've been to the doctor, and then the doctor's taken bloods, and the blood results have come back, and the doctor's saying there's nothing wrong with your blood results. They're all absolutely fine. And so the doctor advises you lose weight, you do more exercise, you reduce stress in your life. And so our answer to that, it can be polarized, but very often our answer to that is we then use more yang energy to push through and sign up to a diet plan and to plan and write down the minutiae of every morsel of food that passes our lips. We go back to the gym with conviction, 3 times a week, and pound it out on a cross skier and lift loads of weights. And we add in a couple of yoga classes at lunchtime, just to make sure that we've nailed that weight loss, that stress reduction, and improving diet. Or we just drown our sorrows in a bottle of wine and a pizza and just keep getting even busier to try and forget how we feel, because the doctor says there's nothing wrong, right? So if there's nothing wrong, I can keep doing this. I can keep doing more of the doing and keep getting busier. Well, I'm here to tell you that you are not alone in this, and that there is something wrong, but it won't show up in a blood test. So your yin and yang energies are completely out of whack. They're completely out of balance. Now, what you don't or should not and cannot aim to achieve is having your yin and yang in perfect balance all of the time. It needs to push and pull in an antagonistic style. But very often in that push and pull, it ends up pulled towards yang. Sometimes then we become really, really ill and we're forced to have time off work, and then we become really, really yin. The trick is to have push, pull throughout the day, throughout the hour, throughout the week, throughout the year, but always come back to a center point. And that's why it's difficult to achieve the balance, because you can become conditioned to be pulled to one end or the other, depending on your circumstances. And centering and centering treatments and centering work are what help to bring you back to that center, whether you're starting from yin or whether you're starting from yang. It doesn't matter. It's about balancing, so it brings you back to equilibrium. So if you are one of the many people who just feels that life has become one long to-do list, then getting centered is normally absolutely pivotal to resolving that. So I can hear you're already saying, how do I get centered? So I'm going to start by showing you a simple centering technique. And I mentioned it at the beginning. It's a self-serve technique. You can do it as on your own as often as you like. I like it because you can go and lock yourself away in a prayer room at work, in a toilet cubicle at work, and you can do this at work. You can do this anywhere. You don't need space and you don't need stuff to do it. And I would encourage you to do this treatment often, make it a habit, because we spend the greatest portion of our modern lifestyle in yang energy, and we need to bring it back to that balance, that center point, on at least a daily basis, ideally. So I'm going to talk you through it first, then I'm going to demonstrate it, and then I'm going to talk you through it. So for now, just watch. So standing up, what we'll be doing is, and I'll stay near the microphone now, but I will step back in a moment. But standing up, what you'll be doing is you'll be holding your arms out like you are holding one of those great big yoga balls. And closing your eyes, I want you to then inhale into your belly. And as you slowly exhale, squeeze your arms in around the imaginary ball. And just keep doing that. Inhale, exhale. Inhale, exhale. Now, what you are actually doing is squeezing and condensing energy into your solar plexus chakra. Now, in order to stay close to the microphone, I can't show you that. But if you imagine your solar plexus chakra kind of around your belly button area. So really what you want to be doing, let me step back, you want to be squeezing that ball into there, not into your heart, into your belly button area. Yeah? And all you do is you just keep doing that. You know, if you're feeling resistance, because in here is a whole load of energy. And if you're feeling resistance to it, you know, you're not going to be able to just squeeze in one go. So just stay there for as many breaths as it takes to get your hands just to a nice little kind of ball over your belly button. So now I'm going to demonstrate to you properly without talking at the same time. I am going to exaggerate my breathing so that you can see it. So just bear with me a little minute whilst I do that. So let me step back. Simple, right? Can you see how you can do that anywhere? So now it's your turn. I'm going to talk you through it, and I'm going to add in a little bit of a guided meditation as we do that as well. So if you can just find some space now and hold your arms out as if you're holding that great big yoga or balance ball, and try and visualize and get as much energy between your arms as possible. And when you've done that, I just want you to close your eyes and breathe deeply into your belly. And now, as you slowly exhale, squeeze your arms inwards slightly. And another inhalation into your belly. Your arms might relax a little bit whilst you're inhaling, and that's absolutely fine. And on your slow exhale, squeeze your arms in further. And another inhale. And squeeze further on your slow exhale. Feeling the energy condensing between your arms. And another breath in, and on your slow exhale, squeeze your hands and arms together so that your hands are just in the shape of a small bowl or ball over your solar plexus, over your belly button. And just take a couple more slow and easy breaths in that position, squeezing the energy in further if you feel the need to, but sending your energizing breath, your inhalation into that ball of energy around your solar plexus, around your belly button. And whilst you're in this position, just repeat these words after me. I am open to receive all that the universe has to offer me. I am centered. I am ready to take courageous and calm steps towards achieving my goals. I am balanced. And just take a few moments to just stay with this energetic balance and familiarize yourself with it. Does the energy feel like it's flowing all outwards, or a combination of inwards and outwards? That give and take. And when you are ready, just give your arms and feet a little bit of a shake and open your eyes gently. And just make any notes about what you experienced in your workbook. As you write your notes, compare how the area around your belly button and your energy as a whole, how does it feel now, as opposed to when you are rushing around trying to do everything? Does the energy feel inbound and gentle? Does it feel explosive and outwards? Or does it feel like it's just spinning nicely, staying put, staying in equilibrium? Just give you a moment to carry on writing any notes before we move on. Okay, so all your hard work is now done. And we're going to move straight into the centering treatment now. And this is a really relaxing treatment. So if it's more comfortable for you and you're able, then feel free to lie down for this treatment. That may or may not be an option, depending. You may have just taken a lunch break and gone and sat in the car. But if so, just maybe, roll the seat back a little bit in the car. I'm a big fan of using prayer rooms for things like this. And there very often is a prayer room, even in shared buildings now. So if you are out at work and lunchtime is the time that you feel that you can get some peace and quiet, then find out where the prayer room is. But get yourself comfortable. Make sure that you're going to be nice and warm. So grab a blanket or put your coat over you. But sat up, lying down, whichever is most comfortable for you. It doesn't make any difference to the effectiveness of the treatment. You go with what feels most comfortable for you. So I am going to play some background music during this treatment because there is no guided meditation element to this part of the treatment. And then towards the end of the treatment, it's not a very long treatment because I'm trying to squeeze all of this into an hour for you guys. But at the end of the treatment, I'll just turn the music down and then you'll hear a set of Koshi bells. Just to kind of bring you round a little bit. So, as I say, this should be a lovely, relaxing treatment for you. But if you do experience any tears, know that you are safe. And I have created a safe space to do this treatment for you. Everybody who has registered to receive it, when I get your emails, I send that intention to each and every one of you, whether you're watching live or not. And if you want, you are in complete control. You can step away from the treatment at any time. And that goes with any treatment that we do in the Stone and Joy Circle. You are in complete control. You can step away. If you're finding something too uncomfortable, step away from the treatment, press pause. If you're watching on a recording of it, get yourself a drink of water. Hopefully you've all got a glass of water or a bottle of water with you. Important to keep your feet on the ground, kick your shoes off, take some deep breaths. You're absolutely safe, and drop me a message via Facebook if you feel overwhelmed by emotions so that I can help. That's what I'm here for, to keep you safe and to help you. So without any further ado, we are gonna press play. You okay? And don't rush up, especially if you've been lying down. I don't want you to suddenly become faint because the blood's dropping from your head. So there's no rush. Just slowly come round, stretch your fingers, your toes, your legs, your arms, perhaps some neck circles. Just very slowly come round from that centering treatment. And just make some notes about anything that you experienced, anything that you saw, any emotions that came up, any sensations that you were aware of. You might have visualized colors, symbols, people. Might even have smelt something or heard something. Just make a note of it all. And in between making your notes, make sure you have a drink of water to help to ground you as well. And I'm willing to bet that you are feeling pretty zen right now. But the exciting bit is that over the next few days, you'll start to notice subtle changes. Your responses to things won't be quite as extreme. Find it much easier to go with the flow. And the more of these treatments that you do, the more of that squeezing in that you do, the more of those shifts in you will start to grow and start to become permanent as well. So just like your body needs to be fed calories in order to be able to sustain itself, to be able to move, and even for your heart to beat, it needs calories. You also need energetic balance in order to be mentally, emotionally, and physically strong too. And that's exactly what we do in the Stone and Joy Circle. That's how those people become high vibrating individuals. I deliver treatments just like this, and they can be received at any time that suits you. So not everybody attends live. Some people do. It's definitely nobody attends live consistently. They just do what works for them. And this is my top tip that I talked about. Even if you haven't got time to listen to a whole replay, I send out with each treatment that goes out into our private members Facebook community, I send it out with an intention that helps our members to receive the energy of the treatment in under 1 minute. Let me give you an example. And I'll use this example because you can actually use this in relation to this treatment, this centering treatment that we've done today. So for this centering treatment, the intention that what I would do is I would suggest that when you are next getting ready for bed, that you just set an intention. And I would suggest the following intention and just say it aloud or in your mind. Now, you might want to adjust it and tweak it so that it's more personalized to you. But with every single treatment, I propose an intention. And it's just a short sentence that, like I say, you say it aloud or in your mind. And the intention for this centering treatment would be, I open myself up to receiving the centering energy that Joe has sent me so that I may feel calm and connected to Mother Earth and Father Sky. Better able to resist the belief that I need to push to get more done and more in tune with my intuition, while still getting done the truly important tasks for the day. And then go to sleep. So in under a minute, by reading aloud that intention, you have opened yourself up to receive the energy, and you will receive the energy. You've welcomed it in, and it's going to do its work whilst you sleep. And we do our best healing whilst we sleep. So it's perfect. It's absolutely perfect. How clever is that? Are you amazed it's that clever? Everyone is. And they start to experience the shifts despite being amazed by it. And life becomes easier. And as life becomes easier, they become more joyful. And who wouldn't want more of that? And if you would like more of that, then please apply to join the Stone and Joy Circle right now using the button underneath this video. It's immediately below this video. There's no forms. It will just take you, the link will just take you directly to my calendar so that you can book a 30-minute one-to-one Zoom conversation directly with me at a time that suits you. And I make this an application process rather than a just join here, buy here. I do that for two reasons. First, I have a responsibility to keep all of my clients safe. So I need to gather some basic medical history. But secondly, I also want to honour my existing members and you by making sure that you will feel at home in the circle. The circle is a safe space and the application process helps me to keep it that way. So please, I want you to feel nourished, connected, and at one with the world. And if you want to flourish and thrive, that rather than be stuck in just survive like so many people, then use the button below the video and book that application call with me now. I hope by watching this video you've seen I don't bite. And I can't wait to serve you. I can't wait to see you grow and prosper, because that's what I want. That's what my sole purpose is to enable people to flourish, thrive, feel connected, feel grounded, feel calm, and feel that they are living their best life. That's how I want all of the Stone and Joy Circle members to feel, and all of my clients to feel in reality. So please press the button, book that application call. I can't wait to talk to you. And it's not a difficult call at all. I'm sure we'll enjoy having a lovely chat. So I'll speak to you soon. Namaste.